What's happening, HC Nation? This is Zach Edwards with another episode of the Adventure Box Podcast. And today we're bringing you Peru, day 6 of my travel down there. It was absolutely amazing. And today we're going to see everything of how the Peruvians, the Incas, were actually like scientists, and how they created salt in the middle of the country, way away, far away from the salt water from the ocean. No salt mines where you get to chip it away. No, they had a different way. And so we're gonna go through this. Also, what was great is we got to try that salt with different types of chocolate. That was awesome. It really was. We had all different types of salts. So my wife and I, we actually bought what was called smoked salt, which gave it a little smoky texture. So you put it onto chicken or onto steak. It's going to have like a barbecue taste to it, even if it's fried inside the oven. So excited to test that. We have not actually tried it out yet. We're excited to do that. But today we're going to actually start off with something else. Today we're going to start off, we gave a little snippet at the llama farm. If you remember that from like day 2, day 3, we went to the llama farm and they actually showed us how to dye their clothing and how to make them. Well, they showed us a very small amount of it. We're going to go a little bit more in depth, and we're going to actually have a native, native as in they're born there, a person that actually lives in Peru and actually does it full time, like all day long. This is what they do, including like showing it to tourists. We're going to have them just explain the whole thing to you. So let's get going. I'm going to bring up my first image, and this is of our lovely assistant who's going to teach us all about this. So, and as you can see, Elvis is back. He is actually giving us the tour today. I think he stays more around Cusco because he has a family. I think he had 4 kids. No, 3 kids. One was this high, and remember Elvis is like 5'2". One of his kids, this tallest kid, is like this high, and then all the rest are like down by his belt. So are very small kids. So more power to him, staying home and or staying close to home. But yeah, let's get going. So in this video, I'm going to show you that this is the way that they create all these different kinds of threads. So you don't have like green threads and blue threads and everything that are natural. They dye them. And how do they dye them? Do you remember? Do you remember from that other experiment that we did? Bugs. That's right. Cactus, fungus, bugs. Squish. And they turn up purple. And then you add them with different things and they change different colors. Well, you could also have the strawberries and the raspberries and the different flowers. They give color as well. But that's the most interesting one, is the bugs. You squish them and then you put them into hot water, and it creates a dye. And you put your threads in there, and then all your threads are now dyed permanently. So you basically you buy llama skin, if they do it the traditional way, llama fur, sorry, not skin, and you're gonna get bug dye all over it. Isn't that great? Okay, so let me start this video so you can actually hear more about it. Okay, next.
Welcome to Chinchero. My name is Maria Luisa. This quad is in 2 different families. In this quad is in 2 different materials. Baby alpaca, adult alpaca, and sheep. For example, this one is a baby alpaca. This color is a natural color, no dyeing process. You touch? Baby alpaca is very softer and products is very expensive. This is adult alpaca second share. Baby alpaca not for the babies, it's for the 1 share. And this is a sheep wool. It's more different.
You guys don't use llama wool?
Hay llama, pero en llama is similar to sheep. It's
okay.
different.
This is baby.
That's the baby.
No, I do.
It's just the first shearing.
baby one is like way.
So the baby alpaca is the first shearing?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You remember he said
Not
it was
real babies.
Yeah, remember he said it was when they were like 1 when we went to the alpaca farm.
I couldn't understand anything.
Oh, they said they're about 1 when they do the first shearing.
Yes, el primer corte.
Pero es de un año.
We got picking up like, oh.
Wow, yeah.
Oh.
This arroz, arroz exacta, o sacha para acá, similar a yaca. This is no yaca. This root is a natural shampoo. It's a natural detergent for the hair shampoo. Look.
Wow.
Mom, can you toss me a bar of soap?
Hand me the root. Exfoliation.
You can use yucca like that too.
So how do you like? What do you just grate it like that to use it for shampoo? Or
Yes,
what do you
in the hair for the chinchero, for the ladies, it's a natural hair shampoo. This one, no chemicals. This is natural shampoo. Natural detergent. Yeah? And this a filter is a natural bucket.
Oh, wash the.
Filter.
Do they wash clothes with that?
Yes, look. Pons, natural pons, natural shampoo.
Look at that. Nice.
This is a no pisco sour. Yeah? And the llama, alpacas, they never begin
Over here.
and shower. Ready? Look.
Sure. I'll put the walnut and the alpaca. Or in the way it felt, baby one was way soft. So I should just show them this. Because I'm going to show them this.
Look.
Into a bowl.
More different. Before and after.
Oh wow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what root is that again?
So
what
the
root?
root grated
And this one?
The root.
Like, what's the root?
Sacta.
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 O sacha para acá. Es el quechua de
Septum times 1,000.
Muña tea, anteriormente.
Muña. Mint.
Mint. Okay.
Yeah. This is good for us.
Yes.
Mint. Mint.
Yes.
This was that syrup they gave us in the hotel. Remember that
I
muña?
don't like.
You take
Yeah, mint tea, no coca.
and this instrument we call it pushka or hueca. And this spinning is a different activity. For example, for the dancing, cooking, pledging, carga baby is a normal look. Yeah? If the air break, it's no problem. Yeah?
Oh wow. Yeah.
Now, the dancing, I think in Portuguese, in Quechua, for the picture videos, no problem, it's okay. Yeah? Urpitu chata, soy wakurani. Urpitu chata, soy wakurani. Ay, 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 colecadena, watu chayuta. Ay, 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 colecadena, watu chayuta. Chayur pitu, chawiwa kuskaisi. Chayur pitu, chawiwa kuskaisi. Ay, 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 repeat pasay, wamat iyo asya. Ay, 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 repeat pasay, wamat iyo asya. Thank you. Gracias. This one is a double thread. Look, it's a dyeing process, a different process. For example, this flower is aquí, cauliflower or nighty flower is for the yellow, different the color. Palo, palo, a jungle is a different the color. Chilcalix, similar a cocalix, is no cocalix, is a different the green color. Tara, tarabin is for the medicinal, yes, for the gargaras. Es por the soltrar is a different the green color. This is for the Peru is a typical de gachicha morada y es a different the purple color. Kionsakuchu es for the triconel, for the blue different the color. And this flower is a kiko yanali, is a different orange color. Sakazuka, this one is a moss, is a orange, different the colors. Ya the most important is in this one. Esa cochinilambidol es a insect y es por the cactus. This abidol es por the red color, por the cosmetic lipstick, es en this one. Look, sacrifice for your visit.
Oh, wow.
Look. Natural. Yeah. For the second color or choose the color is a lemon. Lemon is a different color. Yeah. For the three color, alum stone. Alum stone is no quartz, no yellow. It's mineral. Just for the deodorant. Just for different the color. Look. Yeah. Yeah, chinchorro for the ladies for the festivities occasions. Natural cosmetic, natural lipstick. Yeah. Natural lipstick. It's a 24-hour or resist the kiss and kiss proof. Yeah. Lemon flavor. Yeah. For example, this one is a cochini like for the cactus. Cochini dry. Look, this is a cochini dry. Natural in this mortar. This one is a cochini. And this cowboy leaf is only clear. Look, natural, the color. For the second color, or change the color, this one is a soul. This a soul is the Maras Moray. Look. Orange.
Wow.
Yeah. The coaching is 25 different red color. This color is never lost the color. For the wash is no problem. This color is a permanent. And for the different color is for the soul, lemon juice, sandalwood stone, azul is a volcanic stone.
How long do you have to soak it for the
2
colors?
or 3 they available.
2 or 3 days?
Days.
Okay.
The coaching.
And
The plants is a 2 or 3 hours the boiling.
boiling.
Yes.
Does it fade? The color get less over time?
Yeah, depende. More de tiempo, más y menos más. Yes.
How do you maintain consistency of the colors? Like, if you are trying to make a big something, how do you make sure the color is the same?
Yeah. For example, the cantidad de candy, for example, and this one is different. The tonality of the flower is más flores, más color.
More flora?
Yeah.
More flowers, more color.
Entonces ustedes ponen un poco de lo que
A
quieren
bunch of yarn.
para mantener el mismo
Do a
color.
bunch of yarn at one time.
Let's do it all together.
Okay, you weigh it out. Okay, so they weigh what they put in, so they know how to.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have like recipes for the different colors? So you know like how much of something to use to get a certain color?
Como una receta.
Con los
como escribieron cómo hacerlo exactamente.
Ya calculamos todo.
Just remember.
It's all in the head. Memory.
Totally forgot. Like, was it 2
Two
colors or
dung
3
beetle?
This one is a
dung
different
beetles
the color
smashed.
dyeing process.
Yeah.
This one is a different balls, a different color. This one is for the projects. Look. In this project, it's a blanket o poncho, es en forma de cruz. Es por the reverse. Yeah?
Mm.
This one, for example, is the same. This is a table runner. Look. This is a table runner. Material is in shape in this color. It's a dyeing process of different plants. And this is a table runner. It's a baby alpaca in this color. It's a dyeing process of different plants. This one is a different typical design. Yes, reversible. 1, 2, look.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So they could
You touch is no problem. This is a baby alpaca. And this is a sheep. In this color, it's a same process of different plants.
This one's a sheep. Yeah. That one's the big deal.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yes, it's more different.
no.
Do you like working with one more than another?
Oh, yeah.
Like, is the
Feel the
baby
difference.
elk ever seen you shoot too?
Oh yeah. Oh,
More
that's rough.
coarse, yeah, it's a lot more coarser one.
And this alpaca runner, look, this alpaca runner is a different instrument. Yeah, the most important is in this one. What it is in this one? Yes, and this is a bone. Put it this bone on which animal bone?
Alpaca.
No alpaca, no llama.
Puma.
No cow, no puma.
Human.
El condor.
Yes, it's
Human.
a human bone.
Human.
Yes. And this bone is a tourist bone.
A tourist bone.
Buying it, yes.
Goodbye, tourist.
Extra sacrifice a tourist bone.
¿Dónde quiere que se pone eso para
No. No hay.
You pay. A language he speaks.
Yes. ¿Qué tipo de hueso
kidding.
es?
No tourist bone. This is a llamas, alpacas bone. Yes, a tibia y es por the strong o por the weaving process.
¿Y eso es por la pierna de la
Sí,
alpaca?
de la tibia de una alpaca.
Okay. Ask her what type of bone it was and where it was from on the animal. So it's the lower leg of the alpaca.
Yes. Thank you very much for your visit. Speak English not very good. Carron, possible credit card, Visa, MasterCard, no problem. And credit card is más 5% for the tax US soles, no problem. This one is a different families, different staff, it's a different families for different communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Carron. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That was such great information on how they actually did it. I hope you could hear it too, because it was a little bit lower than I really wanted it to be. It really should have been a little bit higher. But it was great. Did you like the music as well? The singing at the end? We may have to clip that out because of the length of this video, but hopefully we kept it in. So when it comes to making larger tapestries, they actually use tools like this. And this is just one of the things they do. So you can see all the threads coming down all right here, and they'd weave another thread in there, and then they tap it down, and then they'd weave another one in the opposite direction and tap that down, and they would have these tapestries that literally would take them months to put together, and then they sell them for literally like $100 for a month, 2 months, and they'd make $100 on that one tapestry that basically took them the whole time for 4 months doing. That's amazing. But back there, down there, the money goes a lot further than it does here in the States. Okay, so let's keep going. Keep going on this adventure. Okay, so in this presentation, I didn't even tell you this. So this is actually like a community that come here, and they service tourists, and they make these tapestries. Now, each family actually live in different buildings. There are different houses that are around there, but they all bring their own stuff for the marketplace. Now, you watch the presentation, and then each of the people that were at the presentation, they go out to the tables and they try to sell you their goods, whether they're blankets or ponchos or hats, or their bracelets, all these different things. They'll sell them to you, and you can buy them, and that actually helps them to fund other things that they do. Now, all the things that they make are authentically made, so it takes them a very long time. So we were buying things that cost us like $30 US dollars. But to them, it'd be like about 100 soles. And so with that, they'd be able to buy basically like a month's worth of goods for their home. So that was like the income for a month. Actually, it was probably, yeah, something like that. But here's the other interesting thing. Most houses, most communities have something like this. Do you know what this is? Yeah, if you can look in them. Okay, so right here. You see what those are? What are those? They're guinea pigs. Oh, those are such great pets. Oh, they're so cute. You get to listen to them squeak. Oh, they're not pets. They're food. That's right. And if you sell it to a tourist, cooked and everything, it costs them basically about 120 soles, so somewhere around $30 to $40 for a single guinea pig. And again, 100 soles, that's like a month's worth of income for them. So one guinea pig is well worth it. So most of them only have like 5 or 6 guinea pigs, and they'll go to the market and they'll sell it in the market, and you can you buy it in the market for the citizens there, and they're not as expensive, but you cook them and serve them to a tourist and you make a lot more money than you would before. But here, I have a little clip from this, so you can hear the guinea pigs and how cute they are before they're cooked.
Stormy climbs out. Guinea pigs do not. Oh, you coming out? Hey. Oh.
Aren't they cute?
Sorry, I just the bracelets on that side were just.
That one's breakfast and that one's dinner.
Oh, I agree.
That's right. There's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sorry guys, if you have a guinea pig for a pet, they're not pets down in Peru. Anyways, let's keep going. So this was very interesting. I wasn't going to show you much about this, but it was very interesting, the fact of these are all tiered agriculture. So if you look here, you see all these different tiered agriculture. This is actually a mission that was built when the Spanish came. They came and they built this one mission right here. Well, they're still restoring it back to what it originally was, because it got destroyed for a time. But this was, we actually didn't stay that long for this. They said, yeah, if you want, we can come back afterwards. But we totally forgot by the time we were done with the salt mines and the, I said salt mine. It's not a mine. Well, you'll see what it is. And the scientific experimental location. It's called, it's a Moray. There's Moray, which is the science laboratory for the Incas, and then there's the salt mines, which we'll be seeing. Here's a little bit better video. Let me restart that. My mouse is in the way. Isn't that cool? These are the tiered ruins, tiered agriculture ruins of the Incas. So amazing.
Potatoes.
Chinchero.
Chinchero equal potatoes. Why? Look,
He's out from far
this
away,
girl
but you wanted to get this.
Chinchero. This picture is taken that flat area. In Chinchero, they made today the dry frozen potato.
The location
Dry
is
frozen
Chinchero.
potato. Okay? So, Chinchero in the Incas time probably was a small town where the Incas produced many different natives potatoes. Like this. Rosas, maki, like hands, only natives. In that terraces was for farming. Look the difference, that terrace is narrow for avoided erosion of the mountain. As well as in Inca's time, the archaeologists proposing
Those are all
that
potatoes.
was an original Inca path. Can you see a path there? Down?
Yeah.
That path leads today to Sacred Valley. Today, even today, some tourists pay for the Sacred Valley.
Remember, the
As well,
Sacred Valley
the
is
travel agency
what
American
led
Inca
up to
Travel,
Machu
they have
Picchu.
one beautiful tour called Chinchero Waterfall Popo Sacred Valley. Yes. When Spanish arrived atop the Inca remaining, they built a Catholic church. Can you see? Now it's rebuilding. Nobody open. It's rebuilding. Why? Because in Cusco, I think 3 weeks ago, a small movement happened. It's more
Earthquake?
no earthquake, like earthquake, but it's small. Makes the temple crack some walls. For that reason, they are rebuilding. They are rebuilding again. They are trying to join the wall, etc. For that reason, that style, that Catholic church is called Our Lady of Montserrat. Our Lady of Montserrat of Chinchero. that was built atop one Inca religious spot. When Spanish arrived, you know already, 16th century. And that style of building, that temple, it has a style called Renaissance style. In Cusco, we have the Baroque style. Remember the Catholic churches, Coricancha, remember? That is Baroque. That is not Baroque. That is Renaissance style. Why still in Chinchero preserve that ancient style, we can say? Because in Cusco City, I already tell you this, in the city to remember March 21st, 1650, big earthquake. Most Catholic churches in Cusco that has that style, Renaissance.
So I got to explain something about this. So he just said 1690, there was a huge earthquake that occurred in Peru. Now, that earthquake made the Catholic churches all shake. There's two major earthquakes that have happened. One was like 1400 and one was 1600. Peru doesn't usually get earthquakes, so they haven't had a really big earthquake for a long time. Now, like you said, there's small movements, nothing big. Now, when the cathedrals started to fall apart because of the really big earthquake, they actually took the temples of the Incas, they stole the stones, brought them down to repair and rebuild their cathedrals. So they tore down the temples of the Incas to create their cathedrals. So that's one thing that he's talking about.
Collapse. After the earthquake, 1650, in Cusco appear Baroque style.
1650.
The historians say that. For that reason, we still keep that style. We already have that style called Renaissance style. No more Renaissance style in Cusco because earthquake happened and destroyed more Catholic churches. And remember, most stone from Sacsayhuaman was moved to the main square for rebuild many Catholic churches with new style. Okay, that is Chinchero. About the name, Chinchero, they say probably came from chinchillas. You know chinchillas, wild rabbit?
Yeah.
Who put that name is? It's like crazy, right? Spaniards. Remember, the Spaniards risked the pass of the Incas. They saw many chinchillas around these important lagoons. For example, the Lagoon Moray and the Lagoon Waipo, and some small lagoons. As well, this area is named as the Rainbow Area, because after rainy, many rainbow appear. So chinchillas usually live around small lakes. For that reason, the Spanish they say, yeah, let's call chinchilla places, and they call Chinchero. What is the name, please? In Peru today we had other province called Chincheros. Don't confuse with that. Chinchero without S. If you say Chincheros, it means other area. Chinchero with O. Okay? Good. As I tell you, my group, you are a nice group. In the way back after visiting Moray and Salt Mines, if you want to enter and walk like that with no people, we can do it. If not, let's take the way to Cusco. Okay?
See, like
One group picture here for the travel agency. Everybody.
Yes, let's get a group picture.
Like
Group picture.
soccer team.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, there's the history of chinchilla. Okay, moving on. This was another great spot. Now, this was not a historical spot. This was an ancient spot. This is where we could actually see all, well, not all, but a lot of the Sacred Valley. And look at all the terraced agriculture, all the way up the mountains. This is most of the mountains. A lot of times when you see a mountain that's like looks smooth, it still may have had terraced agriculture, and it was just wiped out over the years. But if you, as you can see here, there's a lot of terrace agriculture. And actually, I think Elvis is going to explain that a little bit more.
The terrace you can see like storage houses, federal storage houses, okay? It's called Machucolca, means elderly storage houses. And this viewpoint of the Sacred Valley. Now, please let me show you that snow-capped mountain is called Itusiray. That is Chicón, Pumahuanca. Okay, Chicón, Pumahuanca. That is the La Verónica. Remember La Verónica, Ollantaytambo? Snow-capped mountain. Ollantaytambo is that direction. La Verónica and the Gringo Killer snow-capped mountain is over there. The Gringo Killer, Salcantay. You know why we call that? Because we have a tour, Salcantay trek, and many gringos like you, in the way back to pass the mountain pass in Salcantay, they fainted, they died. Not died, just fainted, okay? Because it's so high. For that reason we call the Gringo Killer snow-capped mountain, La Verónica. In feet is like nearly 19,000.
Oh, wow.
Nearly 19,000 feet. The mountain pass. For that reason, many gringos collapse.
You don't do that type of thing. You do
Some people,
prayer.
yeah, mostly young like you do that. Yeah.
She's like, I'm not stupid.
But some people makes 5 days fighting. Yeah, some are stupid. Yeah. One group picture, please, for the travel agency. I'm going to show that picture as well.
Okay, did you get that? So being up in the high altitudes, a lot of the funguses, a lot of the bacteria, a lot of the bugs, there aren't much. So because of that, the potatoes grow and grow and grow, and they don't have many issues. Just recently, they've actually seen, in the last few years, they've seen funguses come in and start to attack the potatoes. But before that, it was completely organic. No chemicals, that they didn't need them. And the harvests were great. All of a sudden, these funguses come from foreign countries, and they start attacking the potatoes, and all of a sudden, no potatoes. So they had to start using chemicals, and they're not happy. The locals do not want to use chemicals. They want to be fully organic. But if it's up to their livelihood, they'll make it work. They'll make it happen. So I feel sorry for them. This is one of the great things about the Incas being in the Andes Mountains, is that you don't need to have all of these certain things like chemicals to keep your funguses away, or bacteria, or so many types of bugs that would eat them. You're in high altitudes. A lot of these things can't survive at high altitudes where it's very cold at different times. Actually, truthfully, we were there during the winter, and we weren't up in the mountains, but we're in the winter. Here, it's the summer in the United States. Down south, it's the winter. And it was cold, but it wasn't that cold. I mean, I'm from Alaska. Missouri. Heck, I'm from Missouri. And Missouri's colder than it is there. It's also drier there. So they might get rain, but they never really get snow. Except up in the higher mountains. But we are in the Andes Mountains in Peru at this point.
People today not use too much chemical things, just use for cure or for a...
Okay, here we go. Now we are at, where are we at? We are at, I forgot its name, Moray. So this is Moray. This is a scientific laboratory put together by the Incas. Now, interesting enough, you see how much time and effort that would take? You'd say, wow, the community came together and were able to build these great... No, they didn't. Not at all. Sorry, that was not a community getting together. That was the royalty making the commoners slaves. The slaves, the commoners, had to build this all on their own. And yes, from the harvest, they would get paid. But they were forced to do this. They could be executed. They could be punished. They could be imprisoned if they did not work on the things that the royals wanted them to do. So, why this pattern? Well, that's a great question, and Elvis is going to share it with us in just a minute. So this is Moray.
I don't know why it's this way. Usually this hour is not.
Okay, I just let that go a little bit longer. This was a great session that he was telling us all this information, but it was so windy, and it's not usually windy. But this is a great thing to observe. Up at the top, it was so windy. You go down into the tiers, no wind whatsoever. There's this big rocky mountain on one side, and on the other side, big hills surrounding this area to keep the wind down so they can test their experiments throughout this area. Now, he's got another episode or another session he's going to talk to us about it, which will give you most of the same information. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Look how smooth the building was. Yeah, I mean, you have to have tools and technology these days to get that done. No, they did have advancements, but advancements that they did themselves with limited technology, like with no technology, no computers, none of that. This was like with strings, with measurements, all those things. That's basically all they had. And yet they were able to make something so magnificent in this. Look at that. Okay, and this structure, he's going to tell you about this. This right here, you know what that is? It used to be a building. Take a guess at what that would be. It was a seed bank. Nope, not a money bank, a seed bank. They'd keep their seeds in storage in the middle of all that. So, and they'd experiment with all these seeds. That's why they have like 2,000 different types of potatoes. They have like 200 different types of corn. Because of this. Because they did these experiments.
Many archaeologists propose this was open Inca agricultural laboratory. Why? Because in that enclosure, they found many break potteries, and by the potteries, many different pollen or different products. And the archaeologists call that germoplasma. What is germoplasma? You know? Bank of seed. No bank of money. Bank of seed. Okay? Let me show you the product. Stay there. Let me show you the product that they found it. Some pollen of this product. You will organize. You know the food. Peru these days has good cuisine. To eat in any this. To eat in any restaurant is good because you are in the best, they say, some travelers, best cuisine of South America. Peru has good cuisine now. In that little enclosure, archaeologists found many pollen on quinoa. Not only one variety, different varieties of quinoa. Look, white one, red one, the black. Have you tried black quinoa?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yes.
yeah. Black quinoa usually accompany alpaca grill. Huh? Kiwicha, you know kiwicha? Kiwicha is family of quinoa, sir. Kiwicha. Not only that, different varieties of corn. Have you tried chicha morada? Purple corn, eh? Have you tried rice pudding with mazamorra morada? Right, it's typical. These are in Peru, in all Peru, made in Lima. Eh? Not only that, the best kernel corn. Okay? Not only that, different colorful, sir. Different colorful corns. Not only that, different kind of potatoes and sweet potatoes. They say thanks to Moray, probably today we have the best cuisine because here the agronomists probably taste in which altitude produce different products. For that reason, they call open experimentary agricultural laboratory, Moray. Okay, you can see from here, we can see two more. Yes? But the main one is this. As well, you can see like steps. I explain you this? No, I will explain you this. About terraces, probably the second valley they explain.
Yeah.
these terraces are built like this. Okay? About this, I will explain you the next camp. Zero food, because they build in this way the terrace. Can you see? Everybody? Okay. When archaeologists made excavation in this place, they found the terraces like this. Wall, stone wall. Let me see stone wall. Small stone walls. Okay? And some steps. The way in, the way out. And inside the terrace, they found it like this, like layers. 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. And they say, in the bottom of the terrace, 1 layer of big stones. For the reason, here could rain like cat and dogs, never water. Here, never water. All drainage, because in the bottom, big stones. Then, layers. No, sorry, gravel. Gravel layer. Gravel. Gravel. As well as this kind of amazing sand layer brought from coast of Peru.
Wow.
And they say how the Incas moved 1,000 tons of sand for each terrace. This is because Incas has llama Lamborghinis. You don't believe it? You don't believe in llama Lamborghini? Incas were good people who made roads, Inca trails. All Tahuantinsuyo was connected through Inca trails. They call Capagnan. The llamas carry only 15 pounds of sand. Imagine 1,000 llamas carrying the back sand. Not only sand. In the upper part of the terrace, archaeologists with agronomists find different kind of soil. Black soil, acid soil, very fertile black soil, black humus. For that reason, some historians said these terraces are very fertile. Like, you know, after I will do that kidding, okay? And some soil was brought, founded from different areas. I will show you again the map of the Incas. You know, Incas occupy all these areas in South America. The Incas, agronomers, brought soils from Chile, from Argentina, from Bolivia, fertile areas. Not only from Ecuador. In Ecuador, they have more black humus area. They brought that soil for these circle terraces. You are in Moray. Moray means, in Quechua, ruina. In English, circle. Muina means Moray. Okay. Look, I call Mama, big brother, we will see the small brother. So we will take this way to the baby one. Yeah, I call baby. Why? Because let me show you. Drone view is not allowed to fly drone. We are here. From here we will take that way. Even though here the baby one. Here is the baby one. Sorry. Here. We are here. We will continue the way to the baby. Here in the upper part. To the baby. Only two. About two, we don't know. About the mama, we only know. We are going to this one. Okay? One group picture with that background here. Sure. Yeah? Please, everybody, before more people.
So that was all great information. This is just another view of it. So you see how the hills are up, which means the wind will come over the hills, but it really doesn't go down. It just flies right over top. That keeps all the experiments running smoothly and not have to work too much on the wind. Now, interesting enough, you would say, well, okay, they're going to experience wind. The crops are going to experience wind. Yes, they will. There's actually other sections that are made for wind and other sections that are not made for wind. So that's why this experiment, this laboratory, was so important. Now, if you listen to him, he was able to tell you about the tiers and how there would be like really, really rich soil at the top, and it would be different depending on which section you were at, because they were testing out all different soils. Underneath that would be sand. Why sand? Because water can go through the sand. And then what's under that? Gravel, bigger rocks than the sand. Well, why sand? Why gravel under the sand? Well, that's because the water can get through there even more. The sand gets stopped a little bit more, and the roots can climb through the sand, but they can't really grow through the rocks. So the sand sits on top of the gravel. The gravel lets water go through it into bigger rocks near the bottom. Why? Again, we talked about this a little while ago, but that's so that you can actually have, there we go, right where I wanted it. So you can have any water that hits the topsoil, it soaks in. And then it seeps down to the sand and it soaks the sand. But then as it gets further down, it just collects, runs downhill through pipes into the next tier, watering the next tier. That's why the the Incas, or not even the Incas, I keep forgetting the name, the language, but the Incas would actually produce better food, more water for those food, because they recycle through one, go to the next one, recycle through that, go to the next one, all the way down the tiers until they hit the very bottom tier. And as you might have heard, you have potatoes at the top. That's where they found out it was the best place to plant them. And as you go down, you get different things like corn, like quinoa. And then by the time you get to the very bottom, which does not like altitude, that is the cocoa plant. The cocoa plant. You know, it's the one that actually, like, if you grind up about a ton of those leaves, you'll make cocaine. But before that, you get their hallucinogen sedative, something that makes people be able to run farther and be less winded going up hills. And I'm not even going to I did not even try it. I did not want to try it. Yeah, we could go on about that, but I'm not going to. Let's move on to the next section. This one's going to be cool. I can't wait to show you this. So this is the Kuchi Moyu. It's the smaller circle. So as you can see, these are the smaller circles. Now, here's one thing. Look at these. What are these? Stepping stones. I talked about them earlier on in another video, but you can walk up the stepping stones to get out of that ring, and then walk up the next set of stepping stones to get out of that ring. They didn't need stairs. Stairs took up too much space. They wanted to increase their surface for agriculture, so why not put the stairs in the walls? Just stones popping out. You step on the stone, you step on the next stone, you step on the next stone, you're out. No stairs. No wasted space. Check out how smart they were. So this is a little bit closer up. Now, interesting enough, when this was found by archaeologists, these walls were more deteriorated, and they actually had to rebuild the walls. And they did actually, you know how I said the Incas, the larger rocks, they had no mortar, nothing to go in between to keep the rocks together. These ones, they actually did have mortar. These were the commoner walls. Remember we said there was a difference between like the temple walls, which had these huge rocks that interlocked into each other, and the commoner walls, which are basically piled up rocks. Well, when they wanted to do mortar, they would actually take a cactus, the liquid from a cactus, mix it in with sand, and they would create a type of mortar to go in between the rocks so they actually stayed still. As for these other rocks, I'm actually not quite sure why they're here. I know we asked, I just cannot remember. Those are the stairs I was talking about. Makes it so much easier to get out. And there's my group coming down. More of those rocks as we started to leave.
But no video as well, because you will put in the internet and me, I will be famous.
Yeah, turn off the camera. Yeah, you didn't want this not theory, but his own ideas to get out. He was just sharing them with the group, so I had to turn off the camera for this. But that's why Elvis was great, because he got to share a lot of jovial things and theories. But he always told us, this is a theory, turn off your camera. He did not want to be caught saying something that might actually be like not history. But that's why he said it. He's like, this is not history. Turn off the camera. There's not, I'm just joking about this, that type of thing. So it was really fun to be, to work with him. Okay, here's gonna be a longer clip of him explaining.
Special mat preparation, we can say, with some savio cactus, more strong.
Is that savio cactus for him?
Other cactus, not that one.
It's that
Other.
tall one.
The
you
tall
were
one
saying.
in Ollantaytambo. The tall one, eh? Yes.
It's made of mud,
Some people say
egg, and
in
salve.
the ground they put that for man, even with hair. Hair of humans. Yeah, Incas. Some archaeologists found that in some areas, in special temples, Inca temples, when archaeologists make excavation, when they find like, flat soil, flat floor, they found some kind of hair. Yes. And a lot of straw. Straw. Yes, with that.
Would this lower area be something like wheat, or what would be in the lowest area?
And in the main one, coca leaves.
Okay.
No, the highest area is the grains. Like wheat
So,
and oats.
in few words, we can say highland areas, potatoes, middle areas like Second Valley, corn, lowest area like Machu Picchu, coca leaves. If you planting coca leaf here, doesn't grow, sir. How the Incas know that? Probably testing in the main one. Yes.
And now we have one more spot. This is actually the other side. So if you look right here, this is like a peninsula where you can actually go out, where the royals would go out and see all the slaves working. So they were able to stand out there watching all the people work and know exactly what's going on. They're managing that work. Well, so there's one, the first pit was over here, the smaller pit was up here, and the other pit was right here. Now, if you look down here, there's all these piles of rocks. These are all piles of rocks. These are actually all the rocks from the walls that had fallen down. They pick them up, put them in a pile, and then they'll slowly start rebuilding the walls. The archaeologists will. But they have to get funding from other countries, including the United States, in order to do that. So that's what they're waiting on before they do any more work on this wall. But I think Elvis will tell us a little bit more about that in this next clip.
Same purpose. You can see water channels as well still. But this place needs to rebuild. All the stones together, a pile together, is for future restoration. Who made that? Who joined that stones? Archaeologists for future restoration. Remember, the main one is very nice because they started to rebuild from 1945. Yes. This, I don't know when it's gonna to start it again. It's gonna to take a long time as well because you are in Peru. Who knows?
When they finish that
Nobody
airport.
knows, sir, what the future has in store. Many political people say that.
When you guys finish this, we come back again.
Yeah, okay.
So 120 years?
We don't know. But
Nobody
one
knows.
thing is true, please. All this was built by Incas in order to know or test in which altitude produce different products. as some archaeologists say, open Inca experimental agricultural laboratory.
Can I ask you a question, Elvis?
That was the question.
Well, the question is, I mean, I see that they're terraced, but aren't we pretty much at the same elevation? So how can they tell, like, if the height, you know, the different elevations, if this is one elevation here?
How they, I don't get it.
Well, isn't every Inca farm that we've seen on terraces? What's the difference?
Different temperature, different climate.
Different soils, different.
They create like microclimates.
Earlier he said they created pseudoclimates with different varying temperatures.
How
So
did they do that?
Because probably they say they take advantage of this natural depression of the air.
Yeah, so it's warmer at the bottom.
And when you dig down into the soil, it's warmer.
Yeah, so depending on your elevation and the geography around it, you can have different
Products.
temperatures and products.
Products, different
I
temperatures.
just like if we're at the
Yes.
same elevation, how can they?
But every terrace farm we've seen since we've been here is terraced at different elevations. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference?
But they're just growing a certain
Like
product.
from here to there.
and try.
Okay, listen, Elvis.
How can they tell we're at the
They-
same elevation? And try.
They
say
they create microclimates.
This is the bowl.
Different
Yeah,
elevation
mostly
because
from where we're at
it's
in the
deep,
shape of where-
deep. So in the top it's windy, means little cold. Then comparison in the bottom is little warm because they may like surrounded terraces.
Okay, that
That
makes
is-
more sense.
Okay,
Got it.
that is the only information that we have. Is okay, good. Some people don't believe in that. No, we are in the same economy, must thousand. No, because they create microclimates
That makes
in
more
different steps, in different terraces.
Okay.
Okay.
That's right. You said how do they do this at the same elevation? Behold.
Oh, that was such a nice time there. Look at this. Look how beautiful it was. So we got back in the cars and we started driving. And we're supposed to go to where? We're supposed to go to the salt mines. But we made one stop before and it was so worth it. Here, let's show you a little bit of where we went in this. Well, okay. This is our greeting party.
Drumstick.
These llamas were all waiting for us outside of the salt preparation house. This is a building where they actually prepared salt from the salt mines for retail. These were individual families. Okay, so this is the interesting thing. And we'll explain it more when we get to the salt mines. But each family had their own plot, their own salt plot. And so they could sell it to the larger company. There's a large company that's there that harvests the salt and sells it off and then pays the Incas. Now they make like literally $30, I think, a month for like 4 months or 5 months. Now, doesn't seem like a lot to us. No, sorry, I think it was even 30 soles. Now, it doesn't seem that much, but when you put it together, it's like a month's worth of pay just for that plot of salt. You'll see what it is. I don't want to give it too much. But some of them, instead of selling it to this other company, they would harvest it themselves. They would prepare it and sell it to the tourists, which is what this building is all about. Oh, I wanted to show you this. These are the fields of wheat. Huge, huge fields of wheat. And I actually asked him about quinoa. Where's the quinoa? I've never seen the quinoa. Well, he said, that's way further in there. And I said, why is that? Why is it so far in there? Well, he said, wait a second. I want to do a point here. Okay. He said, because tourists or even other Peruvians would drive up at night and rip out the plants and collect it for themselves. So like with a thing of wheat, you only get that little stalk at the end. Each thread. So it's really hard to grab a lot of it and steal it. It takes a lot of effort to get all this. The quinoa are full of plants that have the quinoa growing on it. You grab the plant of quinoa, you've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, because of that, they kept it far, far away from the roads. So you couldn't just drive up to it and steal the quinoa. Interesting, isn't it? And quinoa per weight was a lot more expensive than wheat is. Okay, now into the building.
Please, around here. Please, around here. Elvis group, please, around here. Yes, you can sit there, okay? Around here. Please, let me show you. In the mountain, only 5 minutes from here, we will see a natural hole. From that natural hole, 2,000 years ago, salty, hot water appeared, they say. Pre-Inca civilization Maras worked only that section. How? They create with the stone one pool. Through channels, they join each pools. When they fill in the salty water, they close and the water continues running. The same way, yes, natural. The same way today, Mareñas, people from Maras, as well in Inca's time, the Incas covered this side. Colonial period, today is from colonial period, more than 4,000 pools. Each pool has different owners, people who live in different communities around here. They work it by themselves, not pay other one, in family work. How they work? When they capture the salty water in the pools, they obtain this quality of salt. The base mixed with the soil, medicinal one. And they add some herbs, thing in the bones, for skin care as well. This is for human consumption. It's already with all rights for human consumption. Pink salt, famous for barbecues, as I tell you. 4th of July, this. Flower ones, soup salad. They say this salt is unique because the form of harvesting is unique. It's healthy if you consume as well, they say. Has a lot of oxidation of iron, as well as for hypertense people. For hypertense people. Okay, so now we will try a smoked salt with hypertense people. High blood. Yeah, everybody ready? You will try.
So we left the marketplace and we came to the salt mine. Oh, it's a type of strip mining. Nope. It does look like strip mining. It looks like, okay, they chopped up certain areas and grabbed salt from there. Nope. Totally different. 100% different. If you listen to the last video with Elvis, he actually told you how it was produced. These are all ponds. These are all ponds that the salt water from the salt spring all flow into. One spring services all of those pools. Now the Incas themselves had about this many pools. That's all they needed to service them. I think when the Spanish came, it came out to about here. And now it's all the way down here and even down below where you can't see it at right now. It is huge. All serviced by a single stream. I literally mean a stream of salt water. I'll show you it. Well, here we go. This is another view from it, from up above. See how they're all individual pools? That's right. Each family owns one pool. That's it. Just one pool. And they get like, what was it, 55 kilos out of one of those ponds every time they harvest. Okay, so that sounds like a lot. How much can they sell it for? About $33, 33 soles, which is about $10. But they can't put the iodine in there that's needed. So they send it back to the company. The company actually has their location over here, which you'll see in a second. And they purify the salt. Then they put iodine in it, mix it with iodine. And the iodine makes it so you don't get huge goiters. So some of the people that would actually harvest this without putting the iodine in it got these huge goiters, these big old growths on the sides of their necks. The iodine makes it so you don't get the goiters. Interesting.
approach, we'll go down, okay? Down here, I will accompany you down there. You will see a natural hole. Natural one, nobody created that. From 2,000 years ago, a natural hot water appeared. And pro-Inca civilization worked only this area, then expand with Incas and then Spaniards as well. Even today, people from different communities, they still harvesting the salt. I already explained you how is the process. I will explain you again, okay? You have to capture that salty water in small pools. 7-10 days wait, started to evaporate and remain the salt, okay? When the salt is ready, it's very mighty, you harvest it using common tools. In each season, you can produce in each pool 50 kilos approximately.
How many?
50. 50. Depends as well. In some pools are more big, 80. Okay? And then you can do again. Dry season is May, June, July, August. You have 4 months for do. In each season, you can repeat 40, it's up to you. The people work it independently. Many people just family work it, because if you pay to others, not because the salt, the owner, they have to sell the salt to Marasal company. Marasal company buy the cheaper prices to the owners. Why? Because Marasal company has like storage houses here. Like, look. In that storage houses, but one well-paid biologist add one important thing for human consumption, the salt. You know why? What? Iodine. Because if you consume any salt around the world without iodine, you get what? Bad illness. Yeah. Okay, maybe this one. But don't 1940s, 1930s, owners of these pools, they harvested the salt and they put in the package direct to the local market, Bamba. Remember the lunch in Second Valley. And what happened? They sell in a small package without iodine. And more kids and teenagers got that illnesses. For the reason today, the nickname people who live in Urbamba, it is Koto. For that reason, Marasal company, you say that's the fact. Today add iodine and export the salt all over the world. Okay?
How do they mark whose is whose?
Say it's through a family. If your grandfather was owner, he brought him to you here to work, to help him, and he know. No, we don't have in the, we can say in the municipality, we don't have one plan that is yours. People who work here, they know because his elderly was the owners. And they continue through that. One thing, you gringo, right, is not allowed to sell to other people. No. What happened if you don't have wife, if you don't have kids? The community, or we can say the cooperative, decide to give away or to give to other families who had more kids. But it's not allowed to sell to other people.
Is it?
Because they know. Say, imagine.
The generation.
Yeah, through the generation.
Do people,
yes.
do families own more than one pool?
No, good question. I mean, how many pools usually has one family? 10 or 15, no more. Could be 16, 15 if your neighbor don't have any kids. You took because you had more kids, more the kids want to work it independently. Okay, that is. Any other question, please? Good. Now I will as to you the last picture, no more picture here. There, all 11 people, give me the camera from here, we take you all panoramic picture. That's all mine, okay? Good. Please, let's do it.
So this is the location of the actual company that harvested it. If you look underneath this, they're all bags of salt. All those bags are like 55. No, it wasn't 55. It'd have to be like 30 kilograms, because kilograms are like, is it 3 pounds per kilogram? So that would be, if it was 50, it was 150, and these guys were carrying them on their backs. So it's probably like 30. So it'd be like 90 pounds. 90 pounds, that sounds a lot more too. Oh, that's right. They actually got multiple bags from one pool of salt. A bag. And I mean, these bags are huge. They're the big potato sacks. Huge bags of salt. And they would bring them in there. They store them. They heat them up. So it helps kill off any kind of bacteria. Then they put the iodine in it. They'd sift them to get all the impurities out of them, like sand and rock and things like that. And then they'd sell it all across the world. Peruvian salt. And then that's probably my best picture of the salt mines, the salt pools. Right here, you can actually see a whole bunch of bags. And while we're down there, you can actually see the workers actually carry those bags out. Now, some of them would lift it onto someone else's back and they'd carry it out. Other ones, they had to get on their own back by themselves. And these things were probably about 90 pounds. So maybe it was 30 kilograms, meaning about 90 pounds. I don't get my calculations. They're totally off. This is not math class. This is history class. But the Incas would have pools up to about right here. The Spanish made them out to about right here. And then modern day, all these other ones were added on. And each family had their own plot, their own square. And if you, say you married out, you could actually have 2 plots in the family, but they're owned by 2 different families, couples. So that's how you got separate ones. And they would let the water dry out, and then they would scrape all the salts from the pool into the bags and sell them. So that's what was happening. They would fill up the pond, let the sun dry them out, and then collect all the salt that was left over. So they'd actually have to be like no moisture in there to be able to collect the salt. Another great picture of it. So you see, those are the workers carrying them. Go back, go back. Okay, so now you get to see all the ponds. Go back to the workers though. I want to show everyone the workers. There. These are the bags. These things are heavy. And you see, there's a guy down below. Actually, I'll rewind it. Rewind, come on. Oh yeah, when I don't want the reader there, it gives me the timing. There we go. Look right here. See the workers? 90-pound bags up on their shoulders, carrying them all day long. Those guys are strong. But they're used to it too. Okay, we already seen this part. This is the spring. Not a river. This is the spring. Slow. Like, see, it's pretty darn slow, the water coming out of there. But it filled up every single one of those pools.
Would that be 60 something Fahrenheit?
Yes.
Because 32 degrees is 0 Fahrenheit, right?
Yes. Mrs. Sir, one German has a nice his hypothesis about that. He said 45 million years ago, all these mountains from the.
No.
Yeah, use common tools, sir.
Let's go back. No.
Oh, is that the...
Hypothesis about that. He said 45 million years ago, all these mountains from the great sea of our planet have elevation. Rock, sand, and huge from the bottom of the great ocean, plaquette of salt with the mountains. And today at great deep between aircraft and mantle, probably, there are a big plaquette of salt. That plaquette of salt probably is mixed with subterranean water. Through pressure of the earth, appear. Salty is the only hypothesis that we have. For local people, is gift of Mother Earth, Pachamama. That's all.
Yeah, it is a gift from Mother Earth to have this salt be able to fill up all those ponds and give them a little bit of extra income. Now, if they were selling it themselves, they'd probably make a little bit more, or actually a whole lot more, especially selling it to tourists. But most of the time, they sell it to this company because they just don't have the ability to get it out and to sell it other places. So they do with what they can and the abilities they have.
Yeah, use common tools, sir.
No. They scoop up the salt.
impurities.
Like, how do they purify the salt?
Good. You know, in the factory, you know, in the storage houses, they put in the ground and they try to clean, to purify the salt.
Okay.
When they pick up, of course they select. More whitey is called flour one, because at the beginning who started is very white, first layer. The second layer is the pink one, because it's mixed with some soil. So they sell like that, and the biologists in the storage, they clean, they select, and then iodine and put in package.
Okay.
That is it. Okay.
There you go. That's how they purify it. And I have questions about it, but that's all he gave us. Well, we'll move on. Okay, moving on to the next image. I'm going to show you this one more time. See, these are the workers. Oh, this is the irrigation. So they had streams, and they would block the water into certain ponds to fill them up, and then they'd unblock them when they're full and send it to another pool. And so the workers that are here, the company that's running this, they'll actually move it around and increase the amount of water in certain areas so that everyone can get water when they need it. And you know what's interesting? To block the water, they don't have some sort of like handy dandy iron gate or something like that that would stop the water. They don't have valves. No. They put a rock. That's it. They just put a rock right in front of it. It slows the water from going that direction. It just goes another direction. And so it works for them. It's funny to me, but it works. It works for them. And after that, we return to Cusco, including the Cusco flag. Woohoo! Love the Cusco flag. This is the rainbow, the actual rainbow that they did. So, like he said it before, I think in the last video, but because of the water that was actually produced in this area a long time ago, this was known as the Nation of Rainbows. So this flag is of ancient times. It's not of modern reasoning or anything like that. It is ancient times. Okay. And that's why you can see them everywhere, like here and here and here and here. I was like, wow, that's a lot of pride flags. And they're like, no pride. Not that pride. Cusco pride. Peruvian pride. That's it. I was like, oh, that's very interesting. Okay, here we go. Okay.
They promised in the 1990s.
Let's see.
Yeah, they say in 1994 we will.
There's a better picture. Okay, there. Okay. As promised, this is the airport that they started building in 1994. As of today, it's still a skeleton. It has not stopped construction per se. They've just gone very, very, very slow about it. Peru, their government, works very, very slow on everything. But this was supposed to be the main hub. This was supposed to be the international airport for all of Cusco. Instead of having to go to Lima and then fly into Cusco, you'd fly here and either drive in or fly a very quick jump to Cusco. But you know what? The government doesn't have the funding. It doesn't. There's too much bureaucracy, and they never get things done. It has been what 94, so that's 6 plus 25. It's been 31 years, nothing. And the planning, like planning the airport, it's been about 40 years altogether. How in the world does it take you 40 years? I mean, they had a really nice structure. It looked fairly big, and yet they haven't used it, and it's just been sitting there, and they probably will never fix it. So one of our associates actually said, hey, when they get this done, tell us, because that's when we'll come back. Until then, we're not coming back. Tell Peru that. And if they shut down Machu Picchu, we're not coming back. So, let's see if the message gets there. It won't. And the government won't listen to it anyways. Because there's too much bureaucracy, there's too much red tape, and there's not enough money going into the government to fund this and everything else they want to do. And if they shut down Machu Picchu, it's even less money because there'll be less tourism. Sorry. Double-edged sword. No money, but if you do certain things, there's going to be even less money. But that's our trip for today. I hope you enjoyed our trip through Peru when it comes to salt mines, and also Moray, the laboratory of the Incas. It is so fascinating what they were able to accomplish so many years ago. And yet, and this is like 1,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago. Simply amazing. I don't think we give them enough credit for all they were able to accomplish. And what do we accomplish today? It takes about 36 years before we actually build, or sorry, 31 years to actually build an airport. Yeah, no, it's never going to get built. They've probably abandoned it now in the minds of the Peruvian government. So, love the Peruvian government. I hope they're able to keep tourism coming. But build this airport and we will come back. If we can fly straight into here instead of flying through Lima. I'll tell you what, I got my worst... I haven't told you about this yet. Okay, so we get into Lima, is I think about midnight. We get into Lima about midnight. We have 2 hours before our plane's supposed to leave. So we get over to customs and we get into line. We get through security, which takes forever. And then we need to go in through, we get into the first portion of security, and it is literally like a traffic jam. Move a foot, wait 20 minutes. Move another foot, wait 20 minutes. And no, it's not this foot and 20 minutes. We had literally 400 people in line, and we were in the back. It took us over 2.5 hours to get there. Our plane would have already left, except because they had so many issues with the passport terminals, customs terminals, that they actually held all the flights. One of our associates was actually supposed to leave on an earlier flight, about a half hour earlier. They held that one too. It was over an hour late leaving. What was bad about that is, yes, they're in Lima. They're going to be flying up to another U.S. state, the U.S. airport. If they had a connection, they would have been late. Luckily, they were flying straight into where they were going to drive home. So, all the great adventures of going to Peru. And you know what? Again, even though I love Peru, I loved visiting it, I am proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Until next time, thank you so much. And yes, it is so great to be up here in the States, because it's not just freedom. I mean, they don't pay taxes a lot of the ways that we do, but they're not as free as we are. And there's not as many technological advances, and poverty is so much higher, and all these other things. I'm glad to be in America, because you at least know, no matter where you start, you can always be something more. I'll give you a great example. I'm studying President William McKinley. William McKinley, he started off dirt poor. His family was dirt poor. He went to school whenever he could, but he was still working for his family, trying to raise money for the family. And then he went to college and had to drop out because he didn't have enough money to continue college. He then joined the Civil War, and when he got back, he was able to finish a law degree. That's right, he was able to do a law degree, and slowly became a congressman, and then a governor, and then, going down the line, president of the United States. That is simply amazing. And that is from someone that started off dirt poor with his family. So much he couldn't afford to go to school every day. He couldn't afford to be at college because he had to drop out. And yet he still made it. As everyone in America needs to know, you can make it. Thank you so much for joining us on this great Adventure Box podcast day on our bonus edition with my trip to Peru, learning everything I could about the Incas. Until next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.